The Apple Watch is, in my opinion, probably the best product that Apple makes. It has the power of a modern-day smartphone, all packed into a tiny little device that you wear on your wrist. But I reckon most people use it for telling the time and not a lot more than that. And it's not because they don't want to. It's because unlike the iPhone, where things are pretty obvious, it isn't always obvious how to get the most out of your Apple Watch. So in this video, I'm going to share tips, tricks, and features that I think most Apple Watch owners have no idea about. Okay, let's get into it. This next tip is honestly a bit of a game changer if you receive a lot of messages while you're in meetings and you want a quick but personal way to respond to them. Head into the Watch app on your iPhone, then scroll down and choose Messages. From here, tap on Default Replies. You'll see an option for Smart Replies, which you can enable or disable, although for this to work, you will need this enabled. But for our custom reply, I'll tap Add Reply. Type in whatever you want your quick response to be, then hit Done. You can add as many as you like, and they'll now be available on your Apple Watch when you're replying to a message, making it much quicker to get your point across. Here's a watch tip I bet you already knew. You can go into your app list and choose Camera Remote, and once your watch is connected, you'll be able to view a preview of what your iPhone camera can see. You can tap the 3S button to trigger a 3-second timer and a photo at the end of it, perfect for group shots, and you can tap the ellipsis in the bottom right corner to change settings. All pretty standard so far. But did you know this? If you long press on the shutter button, it begins recording video with your iPhone instead. You can take a snapshot using the shutter button in the bottom right, and even pause using the pause button on the left. Honestly, in this era of everyone being a content creator, this trick is going to be useful to a lot of people because you can film yourself accurately without getting anyone to help. Oh, by the way, if you own an iPhone as well as an Apple Watch, you should definitely check out the Daily Swipe. It's an email that I send out every single day for free and includes a tip like the ones in this video, but for the iPhone. It takes less than a minute to read and implement, and they genuinely help you to get more from your device, and more importantly, to help you remember the tips for the future. If this sounds good to you, scan the QR code that you can see on screen, or click the link in the description to get signed up for free. So there isn't a dedicated Safari app on the Apple Watch. It's one of the only first-party Apple apps that you don't get on the Apple Watch. This would understandably lead you to believe that there isn't a web browser on your watch, but that isn't the case. There is actually a version of Safari on your Apple Watch. There just isn't an obvious way to get to it. The good news is that if you ever want to access it, you can. You just need to know how to do it. You're probably not going to use this all that often, but every now and then, this can be really handy. The easiest way is to ask Siri. Access your voice assistant and say go to apple.com, for example. Siri will then show you any matching results, and you just pick the one that you want. Tap it, and your watch will open a simplified web browser. It's not going to be a full desktop experience, but it's perfectly functional for checking quick bits of information or confirming details. A feature that I've talked about a lot in my iPhone videos is the ability to log medications in the Health app. It means that you can not only get reminders to take medication at the right time, but you can also look back and check that you took medication when you needed to. It's a great feature, but it gets even better when you realize that it syncs up with a medications app already installed on your Apple Watch. So first of all, we're going to need to create a medication in the Health app. We do that by opening the Health app, going to Browse, and then choosing Medications. Head down to the Medication section and choose Add Medication. Follow the step-by-step guide to input your medication. That includes things like choosing the dosage, the form of medication, whether it's a capsule, a tablet, that kind of thing, and the times of day that you want to take the medication. Once that's done, grab your Apple Watch, press the digital crown to bring up your app list, then find and tap on the Medications app. You'll see a list of your scheduled medications. Simply tap on the one that you've just taken, then tap the log button. And that's it. It's logged on your watch. And it's logged on your iPhone. If you're out somewhere new and you're wearing your Apple Watch, maybe you're exploring a new town or city, there's a feature built in that lets you mark your exact location and then easily get back to it later. So maybe you know that where you are right now is where you need to get back to in a few hours' time, but you don't want the stress of having to try and figure it out in the Maps app. Let me show you how to do it. Head into the Maps app on your Apple Watch. You'll see a blue dot right in the center. That's your current location. Tap on that. This will show you your exact location, which, by the way, is useful to remember if you ever need to know the address of where you are right now for any reason. You'll see an option to mark my location, so go ahead and tap that. The app returns to the map and it's not obvious that anything's happened, but your location has been marked. Now whenever you want to return, simply open the Maps app again, tap the magnifying glass in the bottom right, scroll down to Recents, and your marked location will be there. It's the one with the pin icon. Tap on it and then choose Directions to get guided right back to that spot. This channel is all about tips and tricks for your Apple devices, so if you want a tip for saving money on your phone bill, especially if you're in the US, you should check out today's video sponsor, Tello. Ask yourself this: are you overpaying for your phone bill? A lot of people pay $60, $80, even $100 a month and never stop to question it. And usually the reason is simple. You're paying for a big bundle of data and minutes you don't actually use. That's where Tello is different. Instead of being pushed into a plan that's bigger than you need, you build your own. You pick how much data and how many minutes and only pay for what fits your life. Plans start at $5 a month, and if you want the lot, unlimited is $25. There are no contracts either, so you can change it whenever you need, scaling it up or down. And even though you're paying less, you're still on America's largest 5G network, so you still get the same coverage that you're used to for a fraction of the cost. You also get free hotspot and Wi-Fi calling, unlimited texts, and international calls to over 60 countries, plus roaming when you travel. Activation can be done with an eSIM, so you're up and running in minutes. More than 14,000 excellent reviews on Trustpilot can't be wrong. Wireless that doesn't drive you crazy? Tell me about it. If that sounds useful, head to tello.com, build your own plan, and the link's down in the description. We all know that CarPlay is brilliant for navigation, but sometimes it's easy to miss an audio cue for an upcoming turn, especially if you've got music on or if you're on a long journey where it might be an hour or more before your next prompt. I know I've missed a few motorway turnoffs in my time because I wasn't paying attention to what Maps was saying. But did you know that you can get a little tap on your Apple Watch to let you know a turn is coming up? Let me show you how to set that up. For this, you need to head into the Watch app on your iPhone. From here, you'll want to scroll all the way down to the bottom and choose Apps. Then scroll down until you see Maps and tap into that. The part you're looking for is Turn Alerts, where you can choose if and when you'd like turn alerts while using navigation. Walking and cycling are here, but the part that we're interested in is driving, specifically driving with CarPlay. Simply switch that on, and from now on, your watch will give you a gentle haptic tap a few seconds before each turn. And it even varies the tap to let you know if it's a left turn or a right turn. A complaint I hear quite often is about the Apple Watch constantly pinging you with noise notifications, especially if you work in an environment that's a bit louder than average, or if, like me, you've got twin 2-year-olds. It's a great feature for protecting your hearing, but if it's always going off, it can become a bit of a nuisance. Most people don't realize that you can change the sensitivity, so let me show you. Head into the Watch app on your iPhone. Scroll down to the bottom and choose Apps. Then scroll down again until you find Noise. Tap on Noise, and here you'll see Noise Threshold. Tap on that, and you can now choose the decibel level at which your watch will notify you. You can go as low as 80 decibels or as high as 100, and it's good to see that Apple also explains for each of them what the recommended daily exposure is, useful to know before you make a change here. You can also switch off notifications entirely from here if you prefer. It's your watch, and I think this is actually a useful feature, but now you know you've got some control over it. If you're anything like me, you've probably found yourself in a situation where you're trying to read something on your watch, or maybe interact with an app, and before you've had a chance to finish, it's flicked back to the watch face. It is a bit jarring, and it can be frustrating when you're in the middle of something. Thankfully, there's a really easy fix for this. Let me show you. Head into the Settings app on your Apple Watch. You get to it by pressing the digital crown, and it's the same settings icon as the one on your iPhone. Scroll down and tap into where it says General, then scroll down a bit further and choose Return to Clock. Here you can set a system-wide preference, like after 2 minutes, after an hour, or always. My preference here in general is 2 minutes. But what's really clever is if you scroll down even further, you can customize this setting for individual apps, allowing them to stay open for as long as you need. So for example, if I go into audiobooks, I can choose the default, or I can apply a custom setting just to this app. And if you scroll down, you can also enable Return to App. With this enabled, if you're in an app like Workout or Podcast, for example, and you quickly tap back to see the clock, the app will then return back to the app until your session is over. The Smart Stack is one of those features that I reckon Apple spent ages making and that nobody really uses, which is a shame because I actually think it's really useful. If you don't know what I mean, you scroll up on the digital crown from the main watch screen and you've got these little data cards showing you glanceable information. They're actually really pretty good because things like timers or music that you're playing get automatically added to them. But did you know that you can actually customize this to show exactly what you want? Let me show you how. To do this, first you need to access your Smart Stack by rotating the digital crown upwards from your watch face. Once it's open, scroll right down to the very bottom and you'll see a small edit button. Tap on that. You then tap the big plus button to add something in new. Scroll through the available apps to make your choice. For this example, I'll head into music and choose recently played. You can see it gets added. You can tap the little yellow pin to keep it there because if you don't do this, your watch will try and intelligently rearrange the order for you, and you can use the little minus to get rid of anything that you don't want. Give it a try. It's one of those features that I reckon you'll wonder how you ever lived without once you've gotten used to it. A core iPhone app that had been missing from the watch for years is the Notes app, but Apple brought it across a couple of years ago. It's not as fully functional as its iPhone cousin, but it's still pretty useful. Let me show you. Head into the apps list and scroll down, then choose Notes. You can see that mine is opened up with all of the sections collapsed. This is a pretty key feature of Notes on the watch. It displays things in sections, pinned at the top, then today, yesterday, last 7 days, 30 days, etc. So it makes it pretty easy to find what you're looking for. If you want to read a note, just tap into it. To create a new note, simply tap the little new note button down in the bottom right-hand corner. From here, you can either use the on-screen keyboard to type out your thoughts, or if you'd prefer, you can use dictation with Siri to speak your note directly into your watch. And just to show you, here's how that same note looks on your iPhone once it's synced. It's definitely not going to replace your iPhone Notes app, but if inspiration strikes when you're away from your phone, it is pretty usable. A complaint I hear quite often is about how cluttered the Apple Watch can feel, especially if you've got a lot of apps installed on your iPhone. All those apps can automatically transfer over, and before you know it, you're scrolling through endless icons on that tiny screen looking for the one that you actually want. Thankfully, there's a really easy fix for this, so let me show you how. Head into the Watch app on your iPhone. Now scroll down until you see the section called Installed on Apple Watch. This shows you every app currently on your watch. For any app that you don't regularly use on your watch, simply tap on its name and then toggle off Show App on Apple Watch. It's as simple as that. The app will disappear from your watch, freeing up space and decluttering your app list. And if you want to do the opposite and add an app back in, go back, scroll down to Available Apps and choose Install. The Watch app will be added to your watch. Offline maps are a lifesaver. They're a bit like insurance. You don't know how valuable they are until you actually need them. You get them on your iPhone by going into Maps, tapping your Apple ID, then choosing Offline Maps. Choose Add Offline Map, search for a location, and download it. But then the important setting to enable is Back a Page. In the Offline Maps page, scroll down and ensure that Sync with Apple Watch is enabled. Your phone will then ensure that new maps also get downloaded to your watch, which could come in really handy if you ever need it. I use my Apple Watch every night to track my sleep. I have done pretty much every day since I got my first watch years ago. But there's nothing worse than getting to bed, putting on your watch and realizing it's almost dead, meaning no sleep data and no gentle wake-up call. Here's how to make sure that doesn't happen. Head into the Watch app on your iPhone, scroll all the way down and choose Apps. Then you want to scroll down until you see the Sleep app. Tap into that. Then all you need to do is toggle on Charging Reminders. Now your watch will give you a little nudge to charge it before your designated bedtime, ensuring that you've always got enough juice to track your sleep and wake you up in the morning. So there you go. Those were tips, tricks, and features that I think most Apple Watch owners have no idea about. What about you? How many of them did you know? Or is there something that you think I should have included but didn't? Drop me a comment and let me know. And as ever, if you found this video useful, do please consider leaving me a like and subscribing to my channel for more content like this in the future. See you on the next video.